Hello and welcome to Global Atheist News. On April the 28th, 2020, Mubarak Bala was arrested, captured might be a better word, and taken to a state where Sharia law is enforced. He was accused of blasphemy, although he wasn't charged. His wife and child were not allowed to communicate with him, nor was he allowed access to lawyers. On the 21st of December, the chief of police was taken to court, and Justice Ekpo found that Mubarak's detention constitutes an infraction of his rights to personal liberty, to a fair hearing, to freedom of thought, freedom of expression, and freedom of movement. Justice Ekpo ordered the release of Mubarak from detention to his lawyers on bail. The release order was served on the Nigerian Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, the Nigerian Police Force, and the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami. Since then, nothing has happened. Mubarak Bala is still being illegally held in custody. In Tanzania, one of Atheist Alliance's advisors, Zara Kay, is charged with minor offences by police. This report from Jimmy Snow.
My friend Zara Kay on the 28th of December turned herself in to Tanzanian authorities. It would seem that she was initially turning herself in because she had been reported for blasphemy, has since been given charges that seem to be just basically made up to be able to pursue this retaliation towards somebody who is quote unquote blasphemous toward Islam. She is the founder of a program called Faithless Hijabi. She is specifically working all the time to support women who are leaving Islam and helping them to let go of the hijab or the burqa, helping them to find their own identity, because in so much of the world, Islam is still an extremely oppressive force, and it is very much a patriarchal religion, and she is a great force against that. So what I'm going to read to you right now, because there is a plan of action, there is a call to action that you can help with. Last time we had to send faxes. This time is a lot easier because you can do it from your own computer, from your own smartphone. If you are able to watch this, you are able to help, and it will make a difference. Bringing to people's attention how many eyes are on this often is the thing that makes a big difference. So this from exmuslim.org.uk. This is the urgent action that I'm going to reach you. Zara Kay, an Australian citizen and founder of Faithless Hijabi, was summoned to the Dar es Salaam Oyster Bay police station on 28th of December 2020 and was held in police custody for 32 hours without an initial clear indication of charges. Zara is a well-known ex-Muslim and women's rights activist. Faithless Hijabi, which she has founded in 2018, supports women who have been ostracized or abused for leaving Islam. Whilst in police custody, Zara was asked about the work of her organization and why she left Islam. Again, so this being an important part of the supposed that the charges are unrelated, and yet the interrogation was so much about that. Zara was bailed on the 29th of December 2020 and told to return to the police station on the 31st of December. Her passport was also confiscated. This morning at the police station, Zara was given permission to return on Tuesday, July 5th. That is this coming Tuesday, which is why this is so urgent and I need your help now. January 2021 with her lawyer. This is because stress caused by her initial police custody exacerbated Zara's underlying health condition. Late last night, Zara had to go to the local hospital where doctors reiterated her diagnosis of generalized anxiety disorder. These are the charges. Social media posts deemed to be critical of the president of Tanzania. These light satirical posts were posted in May when Zara was in London addressing the handling of COVID-19 in Tanzania. So while she was in London, she made a satirical remark on Twitter about the president's handling. That is a charge against her. in Tanzania now. 2, not returning her Tanzanian passport after gaining Australian citizenship, which my understanding is she is a dual citizen of Australia and Tanzania. She never returned her Tanzanian passport as she misplaced it and never used it after gaining Australian citizenship. So that passport has also gone completely unused because it was lost. 3, this one's so stupid, using a SIM card not registered in her name. This was registered in a family member's name. Failure to register SIM cards legislation has been used to persecute other high-profile cases. We believe these charges are politically motivated and initiated by those from the, I don't know how to say this, Koha Shia Isnasheri Jamaat, who have threatened Zara with death for leaving Islam and for her activism in support of ex-Muslims and women. And seriously, of all the people and activists I know in this realm, no one gets more death threats and threats of violence and just all out hatred as Zara does, honestly. This is the call to action. The International Coalition of Ex-Muslims reiterates its call on the Tanzanian government to immediately drop all the charges against Zara K and allow her to leave the country. The Constitution of Tanzania enshrines secularism as a state principle and recognizes freedom of expression and conscience. That's what the Constitution says, and yet here we are. We also call on the Australian authorities to intervene and get Zara home to safety. We also call on the public to continue to take urgent action by contacting Tanzanian embassies in countries of residences and the Tanzanian government calling for all charges against Zara K to be dropped and that she be permitted to leave the country. Please also contact Australian embassies in countries of residence, urging them immediately to intervene on behalf of Zara and get her home safe. Here is the summary of what I need you to do. There are links and email addresses and Twitter handles and websites down below. Find the ones for the country you are in. So for example, I go to the United States tab, and for Tanzania, they have the website of the embassy, they have the Twitter handle of the embassy, and they have the email address of the embassy. Use the forms in all 4 places. The contact area on the website, all 3 rather. Tweet at the handle of the, and by the way, when you tweet something, so here's just very quickly, if you start something with a handle, so at TZ Embassy US in this case, if you start it with that, it does it as a direct one and it isn't shown publicly. It is more shown, it's kind of like almost like a wall post. So this is why if you've ever noticed people put a period and then the handle, that's why they do it. And this is, it helps it to be seen by more people. You can also then, under there also has the information for the Australian embassy for us to be able to go and say, you need to intervene and be putting as much pressure as possible. Whatever country you are in, there is the list down below of lots and lots of countries that you can use to participate in this. Additionally, I would ask my audience to share the hell out of this video. Share. I am going to do as much as I can to make sure it gets in front of as many people as possible, that it is shared as much as possible. Whatever you can do to help share, get this message out. Zara deserves freedom.
Thank you, Jimmy. All connections, all links to appropriate appeals and to Jimmy's show will be included in the description under this video. In Islamabad, Pakistan, an anti-terrorism court on Friday sentenced 3 men to death for sharing blasphemous content on social media. A 4th, accused of the same case, was sentenced to 10 years imprisonment. According to a federal investigation agency, which had investigated the case, Rana Newman Rafakat and Abdul Wahid operated fake profiles and disseminated blasphemous material on social media, while Nazir Ahmad had uploaded blasphemous videos to a YouTube channel. On Friday, the verdict was announced by Judge Raja Jawad Abbas, who found all 3 guilty of having committed blasphemy. A 4th individual, Professor Anwar Ahmad, was sentenced to 10 years imprisonment along with a fine of 100,000 rupees. He had been arrested for disseminating controversial blasphemous views during a lecture at the Islamabad Model College, where he was an Urdu teacher. From Canada, our correspondent, David Rand, updates us on the situation regarding the wearing of religious symbols while in the employ of the authority.
Global Atheist News report from David Rand, Canada. The big news from Canada in January 2021 is the court challenge to Bill 21 before Quebec Superior Court. Bill 21 was adopted in June 2019 by the legislature of the Canadian province of Quebec. It partially implements state secularism in that province. It defines secularism via 4 principles: equality, freedom of conscience, state religious neutrality, and separation between religions and state. The bill adds the precept of state secularism to the Quebec Charter of Rights and Freedoms and guarantees secular services to citizens. Bill 21 bans civil servants in positions of authority, police, judges, prosecutors, prison guards, and school teachers, from wearing religious symbols while on the job. It also bans face coverings for both civil servants and users. The law is being challenged in the courts by a woman who wants to wear a hijab while working as a teacher, and she is supported in this challenge by almost a score of different organizations and individuals. On the other side, only 3 organizations have intervened in the case in support of the legislation alongside the Attorney General of Quebec. They are Atheist Free Thinkers, the organization with which I work, the Mouvement Laïque Québécois, or Quebec Secular Movement, and PDF Quebec, which is a feminist organization. After 6 long weeks of testimony and arguments, the court proceedings ended in mid-December, but the judge's decision is pending and will not be known for at least several weeks. And regardless of that decision, it will almost certainly be appealed by the losing side to the Quebec Court of Appeal, and after that to the Supreme Court of Canada. Quebec is in the vanguard of secularism in North America. Bill 21 is landmark legislation which must be defended against the enemies of secularism, who are numerous and well-funded. However, they have no cogent arguments. Unfortunately, no atheist or similar organization in Canada outside Quebec has, to the best of my knowledge, taken a position in favor of Bill 21, and even worse, some have shamefully and hypocritically taken a position against it. The ban on religious symbols in Bill 21 is moderate, in fact timid, compared to similar legislation in European countries. If you oppose it, you are opposing secularism. Do you really want to see police wearing Pastafarian colanders or niqabs on the job? To allow that would be a clear violation of religion-state separation. The ban on teachers wearing religious symbols is particularly important because children are a captive audience for hours each school day. They look to their teachers as role models. A teacher who wears a religious symbol on the job is engaging in a form of passive proselytism, which is unacceptable in that context. If teachers were to wear ads for commercial products or political parties on their bodies while teaching, that would be similarly unacceptable. In our intervention before the court, our lawyer argued that freedom of conscience includes both freedom of and freedom from religion. A ban on religious symbols on the job is a small and reasonable limitation on the freedom of expression of the employee in order to protect the freedom of conscience of school students and civil service users. Our intervention before the courts is costly. We ask for your help in paying our legal fees if you are able to contribute. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, David. And now for some good news. Argentina has become the largest Latin American country to legalize abortion after its Senate approved the historic law change by 38 votes in favor to 29 against, with 1 abstention. Elated pro-choice campaigners who had been keeping vigil outside Buenos Aires' neoclassical Congressional Palace erupted in celebration as the result was announced at just after 4 a.m. on Wednesday. Women screamed with delight, sweeping their friends into tight hugs and jumping in ecstasy. Many wept tears of joy. Victory music kicked in and green smoke filled the air. A triumphant message flashed up on a big screen above the joyful crowd. "We did it," it said. "Es ley," it's law. If you've enjoyed Global Atheist News, please like and subscribe, and that will encourage us to continue. We'll meet you again, same time, same place, next week. Thank you for watching.